Hello guys, today in this video we will be discussing about the matrix spiral matrix 2. Problem statement would be like this: you will be given a number n or you will be given an array of number, and then you will have to convert it to the spiral matrix, as you can see it on the right side. And on the left side, either you will be given n or the number of arrays or the n square, anything. It may vary from problem to problem. So here we will be looking into the logic, and then we will see the coding part. So coming on to the logic part, so how are we going to solve this problem? So let's copy this array for now. Yeah, so we'll be solving this problem using the sliding window principle. Okay, so what is sliding window? In the sliding window, you will divide the problem into slides of the window, and you will be moving this, you will be sliding this window one by one. So for example, let's I have created a window of size 2, and now I will be sliding this window in this way. Okay, then again here and this way. So in this way we will be solving this problem. I mean, this sliding window works. So so coming on to the logical part, we will be forming a window of size this, and then we will be moving. But how? That is important. How we will be traversing, and what will be the condition on the basis of which we will be traversing. So coming on to the this, let it be window 1, window 2, window 3 and window 4. Okay, so how will be what will be the logic to print this first window? Okay, let's change the color. What will the logic to print the first window? So it will be j will be moving from this, assume, and I will be moving in this direction. Okay, you can give any name, but for reference it is mostly used ing, so I got habituated with this terminology, so I'm using ing. So j, so for our first loop will be like this: if j is less than what? Length minus 1. If j is less than length minus 1, then what we will be doing? We will be adding that element into array or into the matrix equals to x. Then we will increment this x, and similarly we will increment j. Okay, once this j reaches at this location, this loop will terminate, next window will start. And what will be the logic for the second window? So the second window will be like this: I is less than length minus 1 of I, then arr of I of j equals to x, then it will be x plus plus. Similarly it will be I plus plus. Yeah, for many students you might be doubting why length minus 1, and there will be some other logic. Yeah, we will come to this. I'm just explaining this for the beginning, for the most of the student who is not aware of this. So I'm just taking from the start so that I can explain the things step by step. So if you know these things now, like if you know these basic things, so you can simply skip this video and go on to the part which you really wants to know. Okay, no issues over this. So coming on to this part, so we have covered this 2 windows. Now let's go on to the third window. What will the logic for the third window? So the logic for the third window will be like this: if j is greater than 0, If j is greater than 0, then array of ij equals to x as usual x plus plus, and j minus minus. Hope you are getting, because once j is here, when you will go to the next j, it will come here, then come at this, you will have to decrement the j, so j minus minus. Okay, and coming on to the last window, fourth window, how it will be: if I is greater than 0, ARR of I of j equals to x, and then x plus plus, I will be minus minus. Okay, so this is the logic for our 4 windows. Okay, but how are we going to make it dynamic? Because it can be of variable sizes also. So if you can see this thing closely now, if you will see the matrix closely, then you will realize that how we are traversing. We are moving it this way actually. We are moving it this way because this is the first window, then we will be covering the second window. You will clearly understand it in this part. What will be the window for this one? First window, and the second window, and the third window, then the fourth window. Then what will be the next iteration? Next iteration will be this. So the first window of this iteration will be this, second window of this iteration this, then this, and then this. So how it is moving? We are moving it this way. Okay, we are moving it this way, and you can see the size is also varying. Size is varying from the previous window size to -2. It is happening. Previous window size -2 is happening, but actually these scenarios you will not have to worry about. That will automatically get covered, because when you will come to the second look, what is I here? I equals to 0, j equals to 0, first iteration, and the first iteration will be 0th iteration. Let's assume 0th iteration. Then in the second iteration will be the first 1th iteration, and then what will be the value of I and j? I equals to 1 and j equals to 1. So when I equals to 1 and j equals to 1, we will minus 1 from this side, minus 1 from this side. Don't you think that the window size automatically getting covered in this logic? So now let's get into the final programming and the logical things. So for that I will again copy this thing to explain you and write the final logic. Okay, yeah. So what will be the loop here? So if you will see in this one, when it is an odd, you are getting this in the middle, you are getting this thing in the middle. But when it is even, you do not have any middle things. Okay, you do not have. So how are we going to? So what will be the like a number of iteration for even and odd? So that will vary. So we will see here if what will the iteration. Let name it as. Let's name it as iteration. Okay, int iteration equals to if length mod 2 equals to 0, then itr will be length by 2. How many loops we are running here? When the length size is 4 by 4, then what is it? It is we are moving only from here to here. I mean, we are covering only 2 iterations, 2 cycles. When length is 2, when length is 3, then how many cycles? 3 cycles, and there will be plus 1 for this one. 3 by 2 plus 1, this will be 1 plus 1. Obviously it will be n, do not take it float or something else, otherwise you will get a wrong answer, and anyway iteration can't be floating number. So length by 2. So when it is odd, what will be our iteration? Length by 2 plus 1. Okay, so then we will, let's assume we are iterating it through k equals to 0. Okay, so now let's take a while loop while k is less than iteration. Okay, so what will be the value of I and value of j? As I told you in the beginning, here in every loop, but from where we are starting from the left top diagonal point here. Then for this part we will be starting from here, and if anything else is there, then we will go here. Like this we will be moving. So, and similarly our kth value is changing. First k will be 0, then k will be 1, likewise. So why not directly keep it as I equals to k and j equals to k? Okay, now come on to the next, and again the logic, this problem will be same, but I will not copy, we will go again from the beginning. Okay, so let's create this first window. In the first window itself you will get the whole logic if you have understood the above logic. Okay, so what it will be, how we have written in the previous one, while j is less than length minus 1, but when you will go to the second iteration, what will be this thing? Okay, let's keep it an open point for this. Okay, I will write the logic previous and then I will explain. Then here it was ARR of I of j equals to x, and then x plus plus j plus plus. I know these things looks boring when we only want to understand the logic and someone is writing all this nonsense things. Okay, so yeah, so coming on to the logic part, which you really wants to understand. So this thing, so length minus 1 is here. What will be the this length j value, at what it will stop for the next this thing, for the next iteration? Just assume here j value will become 1, right? Length will be obvious, for this length is 4 minus 1, what will be the value? J is less than 4 minus 1, 3. It will be how many iteration it will go? It will go 3 iteration, but actually 2 iteration, but it is supposed to go only 1 iteration, right? So what it will be here? Minus k, because in the every iteration we are reducing minus 1 from both sides, and that is what we have understood over here. As I told you, we are subtracting minus 1 here, minus 1 here, and then we are, that is why we do not have to consider those things, window deduction in the next cycle. Okay, so you got this point. So we'll be subtracting minus for the first iteration, although k will be 0, so we do not have to worry. Now coming on to the next things will be same. I will simply write it, expecting you have understood it. Coming on to the third window. Okay, third window. So yeah, so third window will be this one for us. So how it will move when j is greater than 0, before we had seen, but when it is in this iteration, I mean in the second iteration, then what will be its ending point? When j is, what is the point of this j? This in j equals to 1, this one. So third iteration, our third window will be this one, right? Sorry, my mistake. The third iteration, our third window will be this one. So when third iteration, third window will be this one, so it should be minus what? Minus of what j value? So j equals to 1, this is, so it should be minus 1, it should be greater than 1. So it should be greater than what we are observing here. In the first iteration it should be greater than 0, in the second iteration it should be greater than 1, in the third iteration and it should be greater than 2. So similarly it will be what? J should be greater than k, and in the same way I, obviously j minus I greater than k, x plus plus, then I minus. Okay, and of course how can we forget this thing, a plus plus final thing, closing the loop. Okay, hope you have understood this thing. Now one most important thing what we have left is this part. This thing we haven't covered. Okay, how are we going to cover this thing? So when it is an odd number, in that case what will be the k value? K value will be somewhat greater than the actual iteration value, what we are doing it over here, greater than. So for that we will be writing the code over here. We will be writing the condition, if iteration. So we will check first for the if it is odd or not. And k is equals to iteration minus 1, means it has reached to the final loop case, the last instance case. What will be the iteration value? 3 by 2 plus 1, what will be? It is 2, less than 2 means 1. It should, if this is ith position, is 1th, first, whatever we say, position. So and then we will be writing same thing, ARR of I of j equals to x And now we are done with the thing, because that is the last point. So we will break it over here, and the loop will not go to the next iteration or the next while loop or anything. It will come out of here. Okay, so hope you have understood this logic and the code. If not, you can scroll it. I will scroll the logic from the beginning slowly, so that if you have any doubt at any point, you can pause the video and just copy the code and understand based on your understanding, because your understanding is very important over here. And of course, in the beginning all these things takes time, you need not to worry. Once you get into these things now, you will start coding on your own. This whatever the logic I have written, mostly I think Java and C it will be the same. You can just directly copy paste the code. For the other languages, you may have to check the syntax and write it. Hope this video is clear and I am able to make you understand the things. Thanks for watching.